What's up, everybody? It's Joe from JLW Games, coming at you with another cool live stream / video, and today we're getting back into Cedar Point, the recreation that we've been working on. So it was quite a few days ago since the last episode, and today we're right into it. Welcome back to Cedar Point. So when we left off, we worked a lot on kind of the midway. I don't know exactly what it's called. I've only been to Cedar Point once, and it was amazing. I'm going back this year, and I can't wait. We also recreated Raptor as best as we could, and as far as it was, everyone seemed like they enjoyed it, and that actually ended up being a pretty decent recreation. So this is also available on the Steam Workshop. The entire park is, and I'm updating it as I go along. So, I also uploaded the Raptor design as well. So if you guys want Raptor, it is available on the Steam Workshop, and this park is as well available on the Steam Workshop as well. And I am going to update it after every episode, or after every single time I work on it, because I will also be doing this off screen at some points when I feel like it. So not everything will be on screen, but we're doing our best to keep everything, or most likely, most of it's going to be on screen. So, anyways, as you can see, I made a lot of just the sides of the buildings and stuff like that, just so I can get a representation of where all those are, because I wanted to get into Raptor and get that in there. So Raptor is available here right now. As for the queue line and stuff, I don't exactly know how Raptor works on its queue line and stuff like that. So we're going to hold off on that, and I don't really know how their station looks. Right now, we're mainly trying to get just a little bit of the layout of what we're going to do. So I don't know if I've gone over it, but the coasters that are going to be in this first part, because we're going to have to break this park up into sections, because obviously there's not enough room for everything. This is going to be section number 1, which is the entrance. It's going to include Gatekeeper, obviously. It's going to include Raptor, Blue Streak. I was going to put Valraven, but Valraven is not going to be able to fit in here, unfortunately, so that'll be in the next section. Wicked Twister, which we're not going to technically be able to make, which is going to be interesting. And a lot of the thrill rides that are over in this direction. So all the rides that are going to be over here on that side will also be available in there. So I think I'm going to go ahead and make Blue Streak on this side as well. So Blue Streak will be available. So what I'm going to be doing is actually going into Google Maps here. And then as for Silver City, I'm not done with SDC. Everyone keeps asking. I've answered it many times, and I'm not done with it. So the same answer I've been saying has been I can't currently get the resources I need for it, so I'm not able to make that recreation happen at the moment. What am I building today? I'm thinking possibly, if all goes to plan, we might try and get into Blue Streak here, which might be a pretty easy, okay. So we're going to go here into Cedar Point. Alright, there it is. Okay, let me get to the Google Earth here, and we can kind of get an idea of what we're doing. Alright, here it is. If I remember the controls. How do I move this again? Not like that. Okay. I got this. So if I have the setup right, you can actually see this. Of course, the game capture turned off for some reason. This needs to be that. There we go. All right, now you can see what I see now. So I'm sorry if I get behind on the comments and stuff like that. I have too many things up and all my stuff like that. So as for Silver City, it will return. It will make a return hopefully very soon. So. Whoops, wrong thing. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, so here we go. If I hold control, I can actually do this. So this is where we're at right now. And if we look at where we're at, we just built Raptor here, and our next section, what I want to do is actually build Blue Streak over here, which is actually an easy little wooden coaster. It's an out and back wooden coaster, which should be fairly easy. It goes up to the front, so it'll be on the side over here. So it'll be a fairly easy design, I think. I'm going to get the statistics on it, and we can build it pretty accurately. It looks like a pretty easy. It'll be a pretty easy design. Hopefully, it won't have any too. It's a very basic out and back coaster, so I think Raptor is a lot more of a challenge than it. So without further ado, we're going to try and get back into this. Get into it and get it going. So, all right. So, whoops, I keep like clicking on and off different places, and it's messing up everything. So there's a pathway that actually goes under Raptor that leads to Blue Streak. There's also another way you can get there. Let me take a look here. Looks like you can possibly enter. No, maybe not. You can actually, there's a pathway that goes over by the vertical loop, and it's right here, actually, where we can create a pathway that will lead us to the Blue Streak area. Now, we're just going to use the gravel for everything and change it up. So there's actually like this building that goes over it and stuff like that. So this is going to go around right here. And we're going to select the grid after. Actually, we want to get our direction first. It's about at an angle. In fact, it's more kind of like about right here. And it's at an angle going this way. And we can select the grid here because it's a pretty large bit of path that goes this direction, which leads us over to the Blue Streak area. So this will go over here. I'm trying to go back and forth to see all the comments and stuff to see what you guys are saying. All right, so I'm going to move this over here. So there's a big, large path area over here that goes this direction. And Blue Streak Station is literally right over here. Let's see about how I'm trying to get like the exact same angle and see how close I am to this. So if I take a look, Raptor Station is way over there. So, all right, there's also a flat right over here. I don't know exactly what it is, but that's interesting as well. So all right, this shouldn't be too much of an issue. About the bottom of the first drop of Blue Streak is actually right next to. So this is very kind of out of proportion, unfortunately for us. Maybe I need to have a bigger angle to this pathway. No. So we're going to go over here and undo all this, because the first drop is about right here. So I want to try and get as close to as possible as I can here. So here we go. So I zoom out. I'm trying to get like the exact same angle in the game as I am on Google Maps. If I can get the exact same angle here, we'll be in pretty good shape. So I can kind of get an idea what the angle is on this. Because it does go right where this loop is. About right here. And that is about right. Except the brake run's just in a completely different spot. It's throwing me off. Alright, so we'll just put that right there. And we're going to continue here. I thought I selected grid. I thought I did. I mean, it's not a huge deal, so we're just going to try and do it to the best of our ability. And try and find blue streaks. The unfortunate part is we're not going to be able to make Blue Streak have the blue supports that it has. That is one downside. All right, we're going to do a little bit of terraforming, get rid of all this over here, because it's all pretty much flat land. So let me flatten the foundation. Let's turn the intensity up. Just so to make sure that doesn't get in our way. Like that. All right, so let's do that. And Blue Streak Station is at an angle kind of like over this direction. So we're going to go ahead and build the station so we have an idea of where the station's going to be. And it is a wooden coaster, but unfortunately I don't think we're going to really be able to make the color scheme, unfortunately. But that's okay. The exit's on this side and the entrance is on the other side. So like that. And for the most part, it's pretty flat. And it actually is probably about like this. It's got to turn before the brake run. Alright, so that's right there. I'm just going to try and get a fairly accurate. We're going to raise it up just a smidge. And probably somewhere around right there. It's going to be our best bet. There's actually a giant building right here that's actually going to be going right there. I don't exactly know what it is. It looks like a food or a restaurant that actually is in between these two. So that's the only thing. I might have to make smaller or something like that. Again, these aren't going to be 100% exact. It's almost impossible to get these, you know, completely right. Should paint the terrain because it doesn't match Cedar Point. That's all right. We will. I can do all of that, no problem. I'm going to see if we can't get kind of a better color scheme to fit Blue Streak here. Track color. So you can't really do anything with this, unfortunately. I can change the track color. I don't know exactly what that does, but there's not too much we can do. You can't really paint it, so it's kind of a terrible thing, or kind of a crappy thing. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to look up the statistics of Blue Streak so we get everything as accurate as possible. Cedar Point. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. Blue Streak, I don't know too many of the statistics on this. It has a height of 78 feet and a drop of 72 feet. So it's a fairly small coaster and a 40-mile-an-hour high speed. So the manufacturer, Philadelphia Toboggan Coasters. I've never actually heard of them. It opened back in 1964. So the only bad part about this is I'm not going to be able to create the color scheme that Blue Streak has, because it's actually like has blue supports and stuff. You're unfortunately not be able to do that in Planet Coaster yet. I hope that's a future update that we'll be able to see, possibly a it's got a pretty long station. Make sure I get that right as well. But hopefully in Planet Coaster someday we'll actually get an update that gives us the ability to color the wood on the support. So anyways, I'm also going to look up, open up even another tab, a official POV of Blue Streak as well, so I can get that as well on the radar. So that will work, or be nice to have as well. So Mean Streak POV Cedar Point. There it is. Alright, we should get a pretty good, I don't know if Cedar Point has posted. That's Mean Streak. It auto-corrected to Mean Streak for some reason. Maybe I typed it up, Mean Streak, by accident. I don't know. There's a Cedar Point on-ride POV. There we go. Oh my gosh, I don't want the audio. Alright, so it's got like this weird station, and then it turns around. I think it has a slight... And the lift hill is very gentle. It's not a very steep lift hill. So it actually does go kind of straight first. and then it has its turn, which is, I think, just in the slightest has this. So we're gonna go ahead and look back at Google Maps. How long have I been live? 15 minutes. I'm trying to go back to the comments so I can see you guys. So yeah, I guess I did say mean streak. Mean streak, blue streak. What's the difference, right? I'm only human, I suppose. Why am I just human? Okay, so that's the... It's kind of got a angle over here. So this almost does pretty much an exact turnaround. I think I need to relocate this just a little bit. So we can get this right. There we go. That's a little bit better. Let's edit the track again. And it will probably be about right there. Looking at the turnaround, it's not quite the same. It's a little bit to the outside here. We'll do the angle snap here, and we'll go back to the POV. See if there's much of a straight section. No, it goes pretty much goes straight into the lift. So this isn't probably not even a 30-degree hill. So we're gonna probably look a little bit more towards. Let's see. I wish I kind of. Does anybody know the angle of the lift hill? It's definitely not 30. And I can't get a exact answer here online, it looks like. 78 feet. Alright, so I'm trying to look at all my reference photos here, everything that's referenced. And yeah, it's got a very gentle, very, very gentle lift hill. I almost want to say it's going to be somewhere around 20. Like, it's a very gentle lift hill. I don't know how, this might be a little bit too gentle, but it's pretty a pretty gentle lift hill. But yes, it is Blue Streak for the people that have just joined. But that actually looks about right. Looking at the 3D image of Google Maps, it's not that steep. It's about maybe 20 degrees. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not entirely sure. And this is going to match up pretty decently, I think. So if we look, we have to go up 78 feet for Blue Streak here. 78 feet is the max height here. So if I click angle snap, that's 79. Alright, so we got to get to... let's take a look at Google Maps again. Gotta get to that 78. There it is. That's a pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, now for the first drop, it's obviously not very steep. And about the bottom of the first drop... Whoops. Keep pushing buttons. We're gonna should be ending up pretty close next to the station of Raptor, but it's a little bit out of proportion. There's no way we can get it 100% accurate, I don't think. So we're just going to have to roll with what we have. Now, in Planet Coaster, you got to make sure you make it just a little bit steeper than what you're going to intend, because once you hit that smooth tool, it's going to go ahead and make the angle a little bit gentler. So that's a little bit steep for Blue Streak. So we're going to make this a little bit, or smooth it out, which is going to make it quite gentler. Alright, so this is a 72 foot drop. So we got to make sure that this goes pretty close to the ground. That's going to be about correct right there, I think. So we'll go ahead and smooth this back out. Get rid of that steepness. Pretty gentle. Alright, so the max speed should be about 40 miles an hour. So we're going to go ahead and click on, or we're going to go ahead and start test, rather. We're going to press play so we can kind of get a representation of where we're going to be at. So, alright, so after this first drop, you come over this small drop, or the small hill, not a drop, and kind of to create some ejector airtime, which is actually really cool. There's a little bit of a roof on the top as well, which I get a good picture of on the POV. Alright, so you go down. I'm looking at the POV right now, and it's just this little hill, and then we start turning. So this is a straight hill as well, so it's a very small hill. And it hits about 44 miles an hour here, which is a little bit fast. Alright, so we're gonna... Alright, and then after smoothing this, maybe we'll round this hill out the way we want it. See about how that looks. And that's a pretty good spot, I think. Then it's going to turn to the left just in the slightest. So we'll take a look at Google Maps a little bit more. It helps out a lot with this design. And it's got another very small hill. It's actually smaller than this first hill going into this one. So it's going to do a very, and I mean a very slight turn. Maybe just a tad bit banking. And it's even smaller than the first hill, so I'm going to make sure that it's not too large here. Alright, so after it gets through that turn, it straightens out, and then we get into a larger hill. So this is a very big, or very, like, oh, that path's gonna annoy me. I don't know why that's there. So you get into a small little airtime hill here. Smooth it out to round it out. I'm really upset I can't make the blue on this, but hey, something's better than nothing. There's some coasters we're not going to be able to build, unfortunately. I'm trying to read some of the comments. Am I going to build Mean Streak before or after the RMC treatment? That's a good question. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I might make it look like it's under construction, maybe. I don't know. I want to try and keep it updated as best as I can. But, what park will I recreate after Cedar Points? I'll probably continue my Silver City recreation, which I'm currently working on. In fact, I need to get back into that. I just don't have the resources that I prefer to have for it to make it as best as it can be. So you might not be seeing that for another few weeks, maybe. I might come back to it and see what I can do on it. But I only have 3 episodes on that, and here we are on Cedar Point, which this one's gonna take multiple parks. I'm gonna have to divide it up into sections because the park is so massive. Because literally the sandbox is not big enough. We can literally fit about maybe half of the park into this, maybe just a quarter of it. Like, it's ridiculous. All right, so after this other hill, we go into this larger airtime hill, and then after that's when we get to the turnaround. So we have a larger airtime hill here. I don't know how much speed we have or how it's going to work on. Alright, so probably about this large will work pretty well. Again, I don't know how much speed we have. I'm just trying to get the design layout done. I know there's actually a lift hill. There's actually some chains on the hill to make sure it makes it over the hill. Believe it or not, that's actually what they do on certain coasters. So there's actually pathways heading over here that I believe, I don't know if it's another entrance for Cedar Point, but it might be. There's a lot of like roads going under Blue Streak here and stuff that I'm seeing on Google Maps. I don't know the back areas very well, so am I going to recreate Maverick? I'm going to do it the best I can, but yes, I'm going to try and recreate as much stuff as I can. Again, there's going to be some stuff I'm not going to be able to actually build. All right, so it's going pretty darn slow through that, which is expected. And then the turnaround's even bigger. Holy crap. And it goes pretty slow around that corner, too. I might speed the chain lift up. Maybe that will help out a little bit. I'm not sure. But it's very hard to get this the way I want it, because the friction on playing a coaster the coasters slow down very easily and fast within playing a coaster on certain ones. So it looks like it's got quite a bit of a straight section before it hits this turnaround hill. So let me take a look here. I'm looking at the POV very closely. So after the big hill here, there is a part where it kind of bends to the right, and it actually stays close to the ground here for a little bit. So it actually does bend to the right a little bit here. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit. And it actually does that a little bit going into the hill, like just in the slightest, like it's starting to go back up here. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and smooth that out so that's nice and smooth. Alright, so now we're going to straighten this out. This is supposed to be bigger than this hill, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that with the amount of speed that we have left over here. So, because we're going to have to complete a big turnaround here. And it looks like it's about the same. But in real life, this hill's actually just slightly bigger. But this is where we make the turnaround. If I look at Google Maps here. And then we're going to start going back the other direction. So I'm going back to your comments, see what you guys are saying. Trying to keep ahead of the comments here. Yeah, it's not a lift hill chain. It's an anti-rollback thing. But I could have swore I seen some chains on there when I rode it. Yeah, as for Iron Dragon, for rides like that, I'm not going to be able to create 100%. I might make it just like a regular invert coaster. I don't know exactly what else I could do. But until we get some stuff, some actual more, let's see how much, does this bank much? Yeah, it banks a little bit. Alright, so we're going to get into this turn here, which is actually quite large. I'm going to make it go downwards just a little bit so it keeps a little bit of the speed. I don't know if it actually does in real life or not, but I think it'll be huge if it does, or a good thing if it does, so it can maintain a little bit of its speed. So it's going to be rotating, going all the way around this way. It does go pretty slow in this section, so I'm not too worried about it. I haven't seen the coaster go by in a while. Did it even make it past the hill? Alright, it's got a small straight section here. Just very, very short. Before it plummets right back down. As you can see, it's going to go very slow through this, but it's actually going at better speed than I thought it would. Alright, so this is going to go down, and it's going to turn just a little bit. After smoothing, that will look beautiful. So we're just going to smooth that out, and hopefully that will turn out the way we want. And then there's a little airtime hill. Right there. Alright, we're going to smooth that out. Hopefully that will fix that hill to where we want it. And yeah, we're looking pretty good so far, I think. It's a pretty spread out coaster. And I think it'll be looking good. But yeah, as for some of these rides, they're going to be hard to build because we don't have the resources to build them. So we're going to do our best to see what we can. Like Wicked Twister, I have no idea how I'm going to build that, or if I can even have any chance of building that. That's going to be an interesting one there. Alright, so pretty much there is a small airtime hill here. But then it's going to go up and pretty much line up with this hill itself. And we're going to smooth it out to make it look a lot prettier. Again, these are probably a little bit smaller than what the actual ride is, as I'm sure it is a lot taller on the ride. But for speed purposes, to make sure the ride makes it, and again, I might speed up the lift hill a little bit. I don't know how fast their lift hill speed is. I'm sure it actually in real life is pretty slow. But I rode Blue Streak once when I was at Cedar Point last season, or last year, and it was actually a pretty decent ride. Like, I actually had quite a bit of fun on it. It was actually a really good, pretty good out and back coaster. For when it was built, I mean, what was it, 64? 1964, yeah. Pretty insane. Wicked Twister is probably, like, impossible in the game, yes. As for Wicked Twister, I might make it I might build something that looks like Wicked Twister, but it won't actually be a roller coaster, but make it out of scenery or something like that. There's not really any other way to make it unless I completely make it differently. There's not really any way of making it. So as for Top Thrill Dragster, it is possible to make Top Thrill Dragster. I'm not sure if I can make it 420 feet, but I can at least do something. So we're going to try and do our best here. Alright, so back to the POV, Google Maps. Alright, so that's the one I just created. It's actually a lot closer to the track than what I have made it. So, because I'm a perfectionist, I'm going to try and get this a little bit more accurate. I know it takes more time, but it will all be worth it if you take your time and actually make it as perfect as possible. The payout will be a lot better because it will look better. It will feel more like the ride that you are recreating. And by no means am I a great recreator. I'm trying to do my best to get better at recreating, and this is a big order to fill, you know, doing something like Cedar Point is never going to be an easy task. Alright, if I smooth this out, this might blend in the way I want. So we're going to smooth out this as well. The smooth tool is your friend, not your enemy. Alright, so this is like literally right tight next to the... My gosh, I can't get it. Alright, so we're going to turn off angle snap and try and make that parallel with this as best as we can. Again, this one's probably 10 times easier than Raptor. I mean, it's because it's just a simple out and back wooden coaster. But still, I want to try and make it as best as it can be. Alright, this path has been annoying me for too long. I don't know how it got out there or when it got out there, but it's annoying me. Alright, back to the comments so I can see what you guys are saying. Alright. So yeah, we're just discussing Top Thrill Dragster. It'll be a challenge for sure. I haven't attempted to make a strata coaster in this game yet, so... Alright, this is not too much shorter than this, so we'll see. We'll see how well it gets through this, but I don't know if it will work the greatest. Alright, then we got another little airtime hill. I'll head back to the right a little bit, which makes sense. Kind of do that to you. Where's the train at? I haven't seen it in a while. Oh, it's at the top of the lift hill. Okay, so it's gonna go up. So it goes up. And we're gonna start going to the right just a little bit here. It's pretty much just another little airtime hill. Because I believe, I hope I'm in the right section. Alright, so after it goes that, it goes into another, just another hill here. Which is larger than this hill. Okay. Alright, let's shorten you up just a little bit. That way we can get this around right here. See, I'm looking at the 3D model on Google Maps, so it's just actually a very useful tool. See, it's going to curve down to the right once it reaches the top. It's got a very gentle slope here when it does that. And then I believe it's pretty much even with this hill. In fact, it's very even with that hill. My goodness. Okay. Whoops. I keep doing different stuff that keeps messing me up. For the people that have joined lately, we are recreating Blue Streak without the blue because Planet Coaster doesn't allow you to paint the wood on the coasters. So we're currently working on Blue Streak. Okay, so it hugs this pretty tight over there. So maybe even smaller. All right, so we're gonna do that. Like that. And then this one is going to be just about as tall as this hill as well. I hope we can make it back okay to the station. I'm going to make it just slightly shorter to make sure that we can make it through this hill. Alright, blue streak. Where are we at on the design here? So, what we have left is literally... Oh gosh, I grabbed the wrong thing. I grabbed the the screen itself. Alright, and then it goes up... After this hill, it goes up into the brake run, so... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We might have to make this even a little bit smaller. Not good. Alright, so it breaks off to the right just a little bit here, so we can get ready to hit the brake run. Maybe not that much. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and smooth all this out. This hill's supposed to be as tall as that one, but it doesn't work very well, so I had to make it just a tad bit shorter. But hey, we're going to have our inaccuracies, so that's just how it's going to have to work sometimes. We just got to make sure we make it back to the station. Alright, so it pretty much goes up into the brake run. Take a look at the POV and see how that works. Okay, so it just kind of goes up right into it. Which it's a completely covered brake run. So we're going to go here. Maybe a little shorter. And then we're going to do angle snap here and make this at the very slightest angle. Because I think it is angled. I'm not 100% positive. But I'm pretty sure this brake run is angled. Yes, it is. I can tell. Alright, and now we are going to hit the friction brakes. And it's got a very long brake run. Alright, let's see if I can't even make that even gentler. Like literally -50 will probably work for as long as this brake run is. That way it can still have momentum to go downwards. See, that's 11 feet, so we're down to 15 feet. Alright, so it goes in after it hits that brake run. It's got a slight turn into the station, pretty much. Alright, so this is going to be a slightly out of proportion. So bear with me. Unless I make the station a little bit longer, which I actually think it's longer anyways. So if I add on to the station, I actually think the station's a little bit longer in the first place. There we go. But the trains aren't that big. So we will fix that. Alright, after a while it gets rid of the brakes. And then we'll turn into the station here. Kind of like that. All right, now we're going to have to make one of these brake runs block brakes. That way we can go ahead and have 2 trains. So there we go. Blue streak. All right, let's do a couple of final little touches here that we may have missed. All right, so I got the POV. I don't need that anymore. And I don't believe I smoothed out the turnout over here, which isn't a huge deal because it's not going to do too much. All right, let's take a ride on Blue Streak, which is brown because you can't change the color. I mean, I can change the color of the track to blue, but that's about it, and I think that's how we're going to do it. I have to change the car color, too. Let's get on. Actually, need to stop that. It's not even supposed to be testing. It was closed. All right, let's take a look at how big the trains are. I don't exactly know. Whoa. How big the trains are. Let's see if it says it here. 2 trains with 4 cars, arranged 2 across 3 rows for a total of 24 per train. So there's 24 riders per train, 3 per car. That's the way it is. So 2 trains with 4 cars. So it has 4 cars. So we need to go to operations, number of trains, block section 2, and it actually only has 4 cars. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wait a minute. Is that right? The train's that small? It says 4 cars, and there are 2 across and 3 rows for a total of 24 per train. So that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that's right. I didn't know the trains were that small. But I guess they are. Maybe that will affect how it flows through. Maybe, I don't know. I'm bad at math, so. So here we go. We're going to press test and ride camera. We'll have to change the color of the cars still. That's something we can change. I made the track color blue, but that's the only thing I can make for blue. So here we go. Let's see how this works. All right, let's fast forward the lift hill because it's very slow. There we go. So unfortunately, we can't make Blue Streak blue. I wish we could. And with the friction, I wish you could change kind of like the friction of it so it would make it through this a little bit better because it's very slow at some points, which is kind of a downside because there's not really much I can do about it. I mean, this section is pretty slow right there in the first place, so I just hope it makes it. Some of these hills are very iffy. It's like, push it through. All right, you got 2 hills to get up. Get up this one and then just get up the next one. This was the one that scared me. It's so slow. Fantastic. Can't make it up the last hill. That sucks. Should I cheat my way out of this? By doing that? Make the chain lift speed fast. And I would love to be able to do it to this, but I don't think I can because it's not a straight track, but... Because the track has to be straight for lift hills. But it's okay. And then possibly, maybe I can, like... This probably will help just a smidge, but make the lift hill speed a little bit faster. I know it's very slow in real life anyways. But just speeding up the chain lift speed probably will help as well. So let's go ahead and take another ride and see how it works. So this is all indoors as well until you get to the turn. But very fun. Am I going to add water to make it look like a peninsula? Probably. I don't know how much I can really do on that. Because you can only do the outside, and then, you know, it's going to be land either way. I wish you could make it to where you're surrounded by water and playing a coaster, you know. I wish you could do that, but that option is not there. Alright, so it's probably going to head through this a little bit slightly faster so we can maybe get through this just a little bit better. So I can already see it's going tremendously faster. Just changing the chain lift speed to a little bit faster helped out a lot. It's still probably going to go pretty slow towards the end, though. I feel like it's going super slow, but in real life, it probably would be a little bit accurate. I'm not sure. And then I cheated at this last part. Just a little bit. You don't technically need a brake run there. But it's okay. But that's blue streak. At least as best as I could do it. Alright, let's change the color of the cars. I think they're kind of like a light blue. So I can at least do that. So. No. I don't want you to move. Alright, so let's go here. I just want to be sure. And the picture, they look pretty blue, so the main color is kind of like... It's actually a little bit lighter there. And I believe it's got the orange restraints. So let's change this to kind of more of an orange. Oh, that's the side piece there. See if I can get a good picture. There we go. That's nice and zoomed in. As you can see right there, there's the picture of the trains. Yeah, I guess it is kind of an orange actually on the outside a little bit. Alright, except for that, we'll keep that black. I don't think we can really change the restraint color. But that's okay. And the blue streak. It's blue streak. So let's change this to blue streak. To be honest, I am very surprised that this ride actually is still here. But 1, 2, 3, 4. And those trains are small. I can make that top no problem, though. It's going to be pretty easy to make that. I don't know why that keeps doing that. Yes, I can see the comments. But I'm going back and forth between so many things, so you have to take into account that. I only have so many monitors that I can have to work with here. And I'm trying to look at reference photos, trying to look at the comments at the same time. Alright, so it looks like it actually has, like, almost exactly looking like this. Like, almost exactly looks like this. And these are actually blue. So line you up. We're going to put these at the top of the lift hill. Because that is where it's located. I don't know if it's wood or not, but it looks exactly like these. If I can even place this. Oh, I had it for one point, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to place it on the other side. Maybe if I did the outside. Alright, so we're going to want to put it about right there. If I place it on the outside, well, I can put it on the inside here. And then we can get out of here and actually move this using the advanced move tool. And on top of it is pretty much a spire. So we can go here. See if we can't just use this. Change the color to kind of a gray. And voila. Of course, this looks like it's unsupported. So what we're also going to do is actually go into scenery. I'm actually going to go into filters, scenery through, blah, blah, can't talk. All right, we're going to go into Western theme. I like using these as well. These are really nice. I don't know if I can change the color. Nope, that's okay. Just make it look like they're supported by these, which I can't see really well because of the grid is in the way. So what we can do, it's obviously at the wrong angle. We'll just use these small pieces, actually. It's hard to get these things at the correct angle. To test it, you just press X and then slide it over. Alright, that looks pretty good. I just want to make it to look like it's a little bit supported rather than these floating. So we're going to do this. Perfect. Except I can't have you there. I want you right there. No, I can't have that there. Never mind. Alright, so now we'll move you over. And we want you on all the sides. Some of these aren't going to match up very well. As you can see, that's not going to be touching. And to fix that, we're just going to go to Art Shapes. I think this would be the easiest way. And we're going to reset filters. And literally just put like a support structure here. Just do the same color of blue. To make it look like these are more connected. Now, it doesn't look like this in real life, but it just makes it look a little bit better. Might be a little bit too bright of a blue, I don't know. Well, we'll see. My goodness. So many comments from the same person. I'm recreating the entire park. There are going to be paths, but you have to build and then build the paths. As you can see, we built Raptor. But we're basically trying to get the coasters down, and then we'll get the pathways in there as well. So that's how that's going to work. As for the queue line, it looks like it's kind of off. The entrance is kind of like right here off to the edge. So what we're going to do, I think I can go ahead and create the queue line. It's fairly easy. It's a very easy queue line. Let's see where it enters. So it looks like it's more about on this side, kind of about right there. And now if we go to pathways and queue, it's more like this gray queue, so that will work just fine. And it literally goes pretty much right down here. As for queue lines, they're probably not going to be, queue lines are probably not going to be exact. just so we know. So everyone's square on that. Alright, so we'll select the grid. Because it's literally a big block of Q right here that just goes back and forth. Kind of like this. Like, there's a lot of Q line on these rides. I probably won't make the entire Q line, but since I will run out of room here. But we'll build it to the best of our ability. Because it does go around like this. After it gets to the end. And it actually goes around. So we'll deselect the grid and actually kind of goes this way. Into a little bit more Q line over here. And then kind of twist under the brake run here. And it will come around to the, we'll make it come around to this side. Pretty much. Because the entrance is kind of off to the side and kind of hard to find, actually. Believe it or not. Alright, that will go there. And we'll just go into regular pathways, and it kind of almost does this. Not really, but like, we're going to go over here. Actually make a pathway heading this direction that will be part of that. Alright, so I'm gonna go to Google here. Try and find some reference photos of the station. Blue streak. I said blue streak this time. Guess I have to add Cedar Point. So make sure I know what you're talking about a roller coaster. Alright, so Blue Streak Station. See if I can get a good thing of the station here. Alright, so I think the exit's just literally a oh gosh. Let's see if I can find, there's a good picture. Except you can't hardly see anything because it's so small resolution. Alright, so we're gonna find a, see if we can't find a good picture. Trying to find a good picture of the exit, so I think it just literally comes down, if I remember correctly. Blue streak, and it's like under the blue streak sign. Alright, this might be our best bet. Yes, so it kind of looks like it, so if I place exit, it looks like it, maybe you exit down here, and for pathways, you'll go this way. I'm actually going to select grid so it's square. And it's a little pathway that, in fact, let's move the exit all the way down. Place exit. That way we have an exit that does this. That way it's about in the middle. And we can make Blue Streak's nice little entrance building right there. I wish I could connect that perfectly there. But I'm not going to be able to. At least not perfectly. Let's select this grid and make this as best as we can. So we'll just do something like that for right now. Why is that? Oh, it was red, but it let me place it anyways. Okay. It works for me. Alright, that works for me. Alright. So now we have a Blue Streak recreation on our heels. So now we can go ahead and save. So we're going to want to save it. So now we have Blue Streak. So now we're working on 3 coasters. I kind of want to work a little bit more this direction here in the future. But Blue Streak coming together quite nicely, and it came together and it works. And that's all the main parts that really matter, is that we got Blue Streak now. It fit in the map. How far out can we go? Way out here, so interesting. I'm gonna look at Google Maps here and see what we can do. So I'm gonna go to terrain here in a second, because there's actually a little bit of a parking lot over here, and followed on the outside of it is actually the water. Which I wish it would go on, like when you do this, it would actually continue on outside like you did in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. That is one thing I'm kind of upset about that it does not do. I wish you could do that. But that's just kind of like just random water over there for, you know, the peninsula. I wish you could actually build it or make it to where it was surrounded by water. That would be epic. That would be awesome. Like, that'd be great, to say the least. All right, so see point. All right, what else do we have over here? We have a lot of planters. This straight pathway just goes on forever, which is absolutely amazing. Like it keeps going this way, further and further. All right, see the entrance here. See, I wish Google Update would have updated with Gatekeeper, because Gatekeeper's not on here yet, unfortunately. So that's kind of a downside. At least I know where the area, kind of how the area looks like already. So I know that it's right over here. That's actually where Gatekeeper's entrance is, and the station and stuff. So that works out quite nicely, and it turns back around over here. You can see how close Blue Streak's entrance, or how it is to the entrance compared to us. It's a lot further down this direction, so we didn't do a great job of placement, and we're kind of a bit off on the layout, but in the end, it will be alright. Okay, I guess. I mean, there's not gonna be, you can't ever get it 100% perfect, and that is one thing that does kind of suck. As a recreator, you're gonna have some downfalls, and you're not gonna be able to get it 100% perfect. It is a challenge, to say the least. Alright, we're going to go ahead and connect this pathway over with that over there. That way that is all set. A lot of detailing to do. No doubt about it. We have so much to get done in this before we even think about really getting much further. So, all right, there's that out towards Blue Streak. Really fun, really cool. Let's see where we're at. What it fills all this space back here is going to be... There's actually quite a few buildings and stuff back there that fills that spot up. So quite interesting of how that's all going to unfold. But I have no doubt in my mind that we'll figure it out. Placement of this stuff is very interesting and hard to get exactly right, so I've never made a really big recreation before, so this has been quite a bit of experience for me and everything like that. I think it's been a lot of fun to try and explore and see really what you can get done, and if you can get it 100%, you know, perfect, fantastic for you. It's a very difficult task, to say the least. Alright, so let me take a look here. But, yeah. One thing I haven't figured out is how to cover the carousel either. That's another interesting thing. I don't know how to do that. But anyways, I think that's going to do it for this live stream. There is a Westwood episode in the making right now. I've already got it recorded. It just has to be edited and stuff. That will be coming out either tonight or tomorrow morning. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, Blue Streak. Again, it is off. I know that. It should be a lot closer, I feel, but I don't know what else we're gonna be able to do. Wise, maybe I made this too big. Maybe these pathways are probably way too big. But I know I'm gonna have buildings going around them. That's why I made them so wide. So, anyways, but thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, make sure you like and comment and subscribe for more content on playing a coaster. So, anyways, I will catch you guys in the next live stream or video, whichever you see me in next. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure you have a great day and an even cooler tomorrow. Thank you guys so much, and goodbye.